What's up, everyone? I'm Alex Neff, your real estate resource and the host of the Bucks County Living Podcast. Today, I wanted to go over how to comp a property. So, what is a comp? It is a comparable property to what is either trying to be sold, active on the market, coming soon. Basically, how do we price a house according to, we're not just pulling numbers out of thin air here. We have some guidelines that we go by as realtors, and it is really another guideline that all of the appraisers have to go by. So, just a disclaimer, I'm not a licensed appraiser. I'm not an accredited appraiser. I'm a real estate agent only, but it's also important for me to understand some of the guidelines that these appraisers have to go by when we're throwing out offers for houses and even when I'm listing a house for sale. So, number one thing that you really want to pay attention to as far as the house goes is square footage. So, with the square footage, if your house, I'm going to take Levittown, for example, Levittown is in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, is really easy to find a lot of similar comps because there are only 6 styles of houses in all of Levittown. So, with Levittown, the standard Jubilee house, the Jubilee model house, is 1,275 square feet. Now, the appraisers are not going to use any sold comps that are more or less than 200 square feet, right? So the standard Jubilee is 1,275. They will start looking at comps that are up to 1,475 and all the way down to 1,075. They're going to stay within that 200 square foot margin of error to be able to get a price per square foot. Next, they are going to look at houses that were built in the same time period. Anything that was built within 5 years of each other is a good comp. If the house was built in Levittown, most of the things were built in the 50s. So if the house was built in 1955, you can use a house that was built all the way up until 1960 or all the way from 1950. So plus or minus 5 years from the date of construction is going to be a great comp. And then I'm also going to do a comp at the end of this video so that we can see it together. Now, if the house was built in 1955 and they're not going to look at a house that was built in 1962 or 63 or 64 because that's just pushing it a little too far out. And especially now, right? Take Pull Levittown aside for a second. If you're looking at a house that was built in 1985 and they're not going to use a comp for a place right up the street that was built in the year 2000. They're just not going to do it because it's too far apart in the construction periods. So 5 years is really what you're looking at for a good comp. Next, it's going to be subdivision. You don't want to cross any major roads. Major roads, you start crossing into different townships, different school districts. You don't want to cross any major roads when looking for a good comp. Next, you want to stick to the same house type. House type is really important because you can't really use a good comp for a single story house. If you're looking at a rancher, if you're looking at one story of a house, you really don't want to use a house that has 2 stories because it's just not a good comp. You have a whole other story of additional square footage, of additional construction. The appraisers aren't going to use that as a good comp when when trying to price a home. And then lastly is lot size. The lot size is also very important because they will do a margin of plus or minus 2,500 square feet. So if the house that you're looking to purchase is on a 5,000 square foot lot and you're trying to compare it to a house that is exactly the same build, same number of stories, same rooms, same square footage, same bathroom, same everything, except it's sitting on a 40,000 square foot lot. That's not a good comp because the size of the land, the size of the lot is significantly different. So you want to make sure that we're following the similar square footage, the similar year that it was built, similar lot size, right in the same area. Try to stay in the same zip code. If you got to cross a couple major roads, it's okay, but you really want to try your best based on time and staying within the same zip code, staying within the same the same school district, the same subdivision if you can, and then also the same home type. You want to make sure that it's similar construction, 2 stories or 1 story or 3 stories or however many it is. You want to make sure to continue to stay within those guidelines. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to start comping a property. So this is a house that is currently listed for sale it's in my company, in my office, Berkshire Hathaway. So I'm going to do a little comp analysis on this one. So this house is in Levittown, 10 Unity Turn, and that is Middletown Township. That is Upper Orchard is the section that it's in. I specialize in Levittown, so I know these things. And this is your standard Jubilee. This is 4 beds, 2 baths, 1,275 square feet, right? So we're going to look through some of the pictures here, and you can see that the roof it could probably use a little bit of love, need some landscaping. It's a standard Jubilee. So you walk in the front door here, and there's your steps. You have some older carpet, maybe some paint. The window looks a little newer here. Not to dissect it too much, but you see this is the standard. This is your like dining area. You're gonna turn into the kitchen here right from the front door. This looks original. This all looks original right here. I'm not so sure about the cabinetry, but that stainless steel sink was typical for the Levittown builds. Washer in the kitchen, that's pretty normal for the Jubilees. You have a first bedroom. Here we go. Here's the bathroom. So it looks like they put a little wallpaper there. The blue tile, that's all original, but they put in a new vanity, maybe a new sink. I can't see the bathtub. Actually, maybe a little bit. You can see, looks like a little blue down there. So the Jubilees standard was you have a blue bathroom downstairs and a green bathroom upstairs. So this looks like the smaller room on the first floor. Upstairs, this was considered the master bedroom, the primary bedroom. This is the biggest one. Here we go, the green bathroom. Yep. So we have original bathrooms. Yeah, this is probably the smaller bedroom upstairs. Actually, this looks like the bigger one based on the size. And maybe that other one was the smaller one with the red. Yeah, so this is the smaller bedroom. And this is the primary, the master suite. This is from the air. So you can see it's a pretty decent lot size. I think this one's about 15,000 square feet for a lot. So yeah, this is a pretty decent size lot here. Above ground oil, which is good. Some of the tanks are still on the ground in Levittown. Seems like it's on a bit of a hill. Okay. So I have a general idea. Yeah, and then in Upper Orchard, you get they call them tot lots. You get the tot lot there. Perfect. All right. So now that we have a general idea of what this house is looking like, I'm going to go into recently sold homes in Levittown. And as you can see, I'm going to try and stay in this Upper Orchard area, right? This Middletown Township, Levittown, PA, Upper Orchard. There's been some sold homes. So, and this is all through Zillow, right? As a realtor, we have access to some paid tools that we use, but I wanted to use Zillow, which is free for everybody, so that you can do the same thing that I'm doing. So here we have, we wanted to do Levittown, change our filter to sold. We're not going to put the price in. Bedrooms. So the house that we're looking at, the 10 Unity Turn, is 4 beds, 2 full bath. So we're going to do 3 plus, because some people, what I did in my Jubilee was we knocked out the wall on the first floor and the first floor between the 2 bedrooms to make one big master suite for my wife and I. So I'm going to put a 3 plus for bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms as a minimum, because we're looking at Jubilees. Luckily in Levittown, there is no shortage of comps. So we're going to look at max HOA, parking spots, square footage. All right. So this house was listed at 1,275. So we're going to put it at 1,000 for the minimum. I'm going to put it at 1,500 for the maximum. Now lot size, It's a pretty big lot, so I'm going to do a minimum. I'm going to do a minimum of a quarter acre. You might not even get anything. The lot size in Levittown, sometimes it matters, other times it does not, depending on which appraiser you use. But this lot size is pretty big. So we're not going to do single story homes because this is a 2-story house, and I want something that's sold in the last 6 months. That's going to be really important. So here we go. So it looks like there's one sold comp in Upper Orchard. This sold July 20th for 320,000. So let's take a look at this house because that other house is listed for 299. So there's about a $24,000 difference, but this also looks a little older. You have wallpaper, interesting archway into the dining area. Could probably use some new carpets. Yep. So this is, you have a similar kitchen here. Just the other one was white. This one is like that wood kind of look. Blue bathroom downstairs, but they redid the floors. Small bedroom. Here we go. A couple bedrooms. Green bathroom upstairs. And this one includes a picture of the garage. Yeah, so this is a pretty decent comp. It looks like this roof is a little bit newer, which is a big ticket item. You know, some other things to include is like if the house has central air, what's the deal with the heating system? So this is a pretty good comp. 320 sold in July. And by the time this video comes out, it's still September. It'll be September. So that was 2 months ago. Not too bad. But that was also a different time. That was like in the transition period of interest rates. That's also something to keep in mind when buying a house, is that interest rates always affect your price on the house. So I want to see if we can get one more in here. Let's open it up a year. Here we go. So yeah, so this sold October of last year in Upper Orchard, same subdivision, same size, square footage. Everything is pretty standard in Levittown, unless you have people that did their own additions. So they upgraded this kitchen. Oh yeah, this is completely renovated on the first floor, second floor bathroom. Yeah, this is completely renovated. So as you can see from the pictures, this is completely renovated. They even did the washer and dryer in the garage, which you have to build that out. Yeah. So this house sold for 320 a year ago, 325 a year ago, and we are clearly in a different market now than we were in a year ago, because the interest rates have gone up significantly since then. So I'm liking this 320 sold comp to compare to our 10 unity turn, except this one might need a little more work, but can definitely be a great buy because a little paint and some carpets. The oil tank is fine. And here we go. Here's another one. 350, 4-bed, 2-bath. And this one's completely renovated. Some pictures. Oh, maybe not completely renovated. It's updated. It's definitely updated, but it just needs your own personal touch. It's updated from the original, so it's not the Levittown original. Yeah, so this sold for 350, 351 in March. So I think that just goes to show you that, you know, this would probably be the best comp to like what it could have been when the interest rates were next to nothing. They were about to go up. Um, and here we are in a different market. So this house, you know, that one listed 10 unity turn at 299.9. It might be a little overpriced. I think this house is probably, I think they'll get an offer. I mean, I'm sure they've gotten a couple lowball offers from people, offer from investors, you know, looking to flip the property. Because if you flip it, you know, you put in 40, $50,000 worth of work, you'll get all that out. It's just a matter of how long is that cash going to be tied up for. Yeah, this looks like mostly, without actually having been there, it looks like mostly cosmetics. So I hope that this video was really able to help kind of give an idea of what people look for, what appraisers look for, what agents look for when pricing a home, when because you know, we're not just pulling numbers out of thin air. We have to go by market metrics, because I spoke with a guy who was in Middletown Township in Levittown, in a oh, what section was he in Juniper Hill. He wanted like $450,000 for his house, and it had a beautiful addition on it, but the house needed some updates. And I said, you know, I don't really know where you're getting your numbers from. And he was saying that was just that was his gut feeling. Like, that's okay. I'm not here to argue with anybody. I'm here to just advise to the best that I can. So I showed him the comps and came in where my numbers were. And unfortunately, we had to agree that we weren't going to come to an amicable price, a price that I felt comfortable marketing the property at, and that's completely okay. Um, so I hope that, you know, he's able to get what he wants for the house. It's just, you know, how long is it going to be until that happens, if ever? Nobody really has a crystal ball. We have to use some finite metrics to be able to come up with some professional opinions on our end as agents. And this is what the appraisers go by. But once again, I'm not an appraiser. I'm not a licensed or accredited appraiser. I'm just a real estate agent licensed in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And these are the things that I look for. So if you feel like you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. Comment below if you thought anything was interesting. I really hope that this was able to add some value and shed some light. And if you have any comping questions, give me a call, shoot me a text, reach out to me on Instagram or Facebook. You can Google me, email me, whatever makes sense for you. I'm always available because I am your real estate resource. Thanks.